right, Nick, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals for a minute. The Bengals are a team that are really interesting to me this offseason. They brought in a lot of really strong players on the defensive side of the ball, but they also had some young, promising players in those similar positions as well. And I was wondering, what exactly are they going to do? We all know Von Bell is on the team now. Geno Stone is on the back end, but we had young Dax Hill as well, who at times looked very promising. And people were wondering, where is Dax Hill fit into the equation? Will they move him over to corner? And then the next question is he going to be able to adapt, and is he going to be able to be a good corner? And I think we have the answer here in today's article. So let's get into it, and we'll talk more about this on the other side. This is from Stripe Hype. It says, the transition from safety to corner seems to be going pretty well for third-year defender Dax Hill so far. He was recently listed as a standout player from the team's recent OTAs by Ben Baby of ESPN. He said Hill entered the offseason in a precarious spot. The 2022 first-round pick was starting free safety last season in an experiment that didn't pan out. Hill was moved to outside corner, where he appears to be taking charge in a position battle with DJ Turner, a second-round pick from 2023 who started 12 games. Hill has taken the move in stride and was disrupted in 7-on-7 drills during the team's mandatory minicamp. He's shaping up to remain a useful player for the Bengals as they enter training camp. This report from Baby also jives with recent comments from Hill himself about how well the transition's been going. He says it's been great so far. Hill said earlier this month, obviously a transition that I've been stacking every day, trying to learn something new every day and critiquing myself whether it's good or bad. And really, I feel like my transition from safety to corners really helped me in terms of just knowing certain calls, saying a moving piece on offense happened to knowing certain calls or checks going into that. Seems like Hill is getting more comfortable. He's battling with Turner. He seems like he is in the right spot for this team. Nick, I'm curious what your thoughts on everything Hill are. But before we get to you, Bengals fans, in the comment section below, I'm curious, who is your favorite Saints corner of all time? There's a lot of really great ones. One, more notorious one that comes to mind when I think of it. But let us know, who's your favorite Bengals corner of all time in the comment section below. And while you're there, check out the description below the video to see our list of recommended reading for all things NFL, whether you're looking for a good autobiography on some great Hall of Fame NFL coaches, or if you want to know more about how the league runs or how the game is broken down, we've got some books for that down there as well. So check out our books in the description below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on everything Dax Hill?
Look, it's obviously a great sign that he's really taking the position changing stride and doing extremely well by all reports of mini camps and OTAs, right? That's critically important because this is a Bengals team last year. We know it's a really talented team, especially when healthy. But if you look at their back end, their secondary, specifically the cornerback situation, it was not very good. PFF ranked them as having the 27th best coverage grade among every team in the NFL in 2023. As good as the Bengals are offensively, as good as they are up front, as good as their coaching staff is and has shown itself to be, you can't win titles if you're that bad covering people. The Detroit Lions blew a 3-possession lead in the NFC Championship game because their secondary failed them, right? The Bengals understand that same dynamic could affect them, so that's why it is crucial for Dax Hill to be a key player on this Bengals secondary. Because you talk about DJ Turner, he was no help to that coverage grade. His coverage grade last year, according to PFF, 48.4. I'm going to say that again. DJ Turner, a corner you relied on a lot this year and potentially this year, had a coverage grade of 48.4. That's not championship stuff. That's not playoff stuff, right? That's team trying to tank to get a top 5 pick stuff. That's not going to get it done. Dax Hill has to step up for them at the cornerback position. And look, he has a sort of a history of potentially doing that. So if you look at his PFF grades as a safety in terms of zone coverage versus man, right? Corner, you're going to play more man, at least matchup zone. Safety, you're going to play a lot more zone. If you look at Hill's PFF grades in terms of zone coverage, he was 99 among all active safeties. That's terrible. It's not very good, obviously. But he was 57th among all active safeties in man coverage, right? So that's average to above average. So if you take that coverage grade in man and move it to corner, that just by itself right there is a significant upgrade over Turner's performance last year for the Bengals secondary. And that's not factoring into the fact that Hill could actually be better suited to be corner than he was safety. So even just a baseline performance of covering people in man coverage that Dax Hill showed at safety, he's significantly better than Turner. The Bengals secondary coverage grade just got significantly better. And the potential that Dax Hill plays better at corner, which I think he will in terms of covering people than he did at safety, means that the Bengals floor in terms of their defensive coverage capabilities just got a lot better. And look, we know the rest of this Bengals roster. They're so stacked on offense. Great draft. Front four is pretty solid. Obviously, I had a few guys leaving for agencies, but I still like the structure. Linebacking core is good. Safeties are really good. If the cornerback play can just go from terrible to average, which I think Dax Hill's performance will push him to that level, they're as good as any team, not just in the AFC North, not just in the AFC, but in the entire National Football League.
Yeah, Nick, I think that's absolutely right. And when we look at this team, I just think overall it is doing a lot smarter stuff. I talked about it earlier. They get back Von Bell on the back end. They get Geno Stone from the Baltimore Ravens. They also pick up Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle. This team on defense is doing kind of what Hill said in his comments. They're stacking wins. They were just building on positions, making them stronger and stronger. And now you're in a great position as far as the secondary goes. You have a guy that is battling for a spot. And no matter what, you're going to have starting caliber depth. DJ Turner didn't do so great last year, but Dax Hill, potentially he takes over that position. You have a guy in Turner who played a lot of starting reps last year. He understands your defense. So now you have a depth piece who isn't completely green, a guy who understands the defense. And we all know sometimes in the secondary, injuries can decimate you and really tank your season if you don't have correct depth. So I agree with you. I don't think DJ Turner is going to end up winning out on this battle. He did not do very good last season. I think Dax Hill looks like trending that he is going to win that starting battle. And now I think that'll be good because Hill is the superior starter, but also you have a guy with experience, first team reps on your defense as a depth piece. So I think this could be really great for the Bengals overall. And I think this is going to be crucial going forward because the Bengals are a team that are looking to be Super Bowl contenders. That's the fact of the matter. You have Joe Burrow. You have a lot of great pieces in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Probably T. Higgins, if we're being honest, just for the rest of this year. He'll probably be gone after this year. So you have to capitalize. You added all of these weapons to your team. And so having great depth and having a great secondary is the key to making it far in the playoffs. And I think the Bengals have created something really good this offseason.